Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Movement. It's just me and Chris this week, so hello everybody.
Hello everybody. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's episode 71's Movement.
Oh, sorry, I missed that bit out. I have a week off and look what happens.
I know. I'm coming for your job now.
That's fine. That's fine. You probably do it better than I do.
I don't. I really don't.
How are we? We good?
Yeah, we're good, mate. It's good. It's still summer holidays, so the kids are still lively. But yeah, we're doing all right. Can't complain. How are you doing then, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Summer holidays have ruined my sleeping pattern, so fun.
How so? What, are you waking up at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning like, oh, fuck yeah, relaxing? Or are you like...
No, I'm staying up ridiculous. Well, not going to sleep till probably later than I should be, and then getting up really late.
So the week before you go back to school, you're going to have to get back into a routine. I'm
trying to get back into it now. It doesn't seem to be working.
No, it won't work that way, no. Ever.
So, yeah, it's a bit crazy. But we've got lots to get through this week. So.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'll make a little confession. There's bits that I've seen that Smoothen hasn't. There's bits that Smoothen's seen that I haven't. So we're just going to wing some of it. And hope that Jack and Matt don't have a go at us in the DMs after the podcast when it's released. Because they do that quite regularly when it's just us two. We'll get bollocked later on going, how could you say this? How could you say that? That's incorrect. Chris, you got it wrong. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that later. Hi, guys. How you doing?
I'm going to go out and publicly apologise for not watching Raw and SmackDown this week. Mainly because I didn't have time. I've been away I have had
internet.
But I have had internet, but I've had no access to wrestling content.
To be fair, I could throw you under the bus here because you've been playing Minecraft. You can't say shit.
I played a bit of Minecraft, not lots of Minecraft.
5 hours of Minecraft when you could have watched wrestling.
How do you know I watched my 5 hours?
Because you told me it was 5 hours.
I did not say it was 5 hours.
You fucking did in the DM. Hey, look, at the end of the day, I've not seen two matches from SummerSlam, and I watched all the highlights for Raw and SmackDown this week. So, you know,
we've seen the important things.
Oh, yeah, well, there's only like one or two really important things that have happened for the... Oh, yeah, and then apart from NXT, I'm like, look, fuck it, we'll just get into it. So let's do news and get that out of the way, and then we can talk about the Fiend.
Yes, indeed. That's going to take up 45 minutes.
Should be me singing Let Me In or Hurt and Heal every 2 seconds.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. So the news from this week, first bit of news is podcast related. We hit 3,000 listens over this weekend. Woo! We want to thank every single one of you for checking out the podcast over on SoundCloud or wherever it is that you listen to us. And just thank you very much for sticking with our nonsense.
Thank you very much indeed, guys. Much appreciated. I speak on behalf of Jack and Matt as well, who would greatly appreciate it. Jack does, and I'm not saying Matt doesn't, but Jack does a lot of the behind the scenes work as well, the Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and I can tell it definitely means a lot to him as well as Matt. So thank you guys very, very much indeed. I am going to this week. I'm going to start searching and putting this on other platforms as well. I keep forgetting to do it. I've literally wrote on my whiteboard about half an hour ago to put it all on Stitcher and Podbean and all the ones that aren't just a localized RSS feed. So Spotify will be coming soon. I promise it will be coming.
Keep your ears peeled.
Well, see, the ironic thing is that the people that would only listen to it on other platforms haven't heard us yet because it's not been listed there. So, but yeah.
It will happen. It will happen. We are branching out. We've got lots of news, so let's get through this relatively quickly. AEW have announced Boston and Philadelphia to be the next two places to have their shows after Washington on the 2nd of October. So it's going to be Washington 2nd, Boston on the 9th, and then Philly on the 16th. It has also been announced, I think, for the 16th at Philadelphia that there's going to be a title defense of the AEW title, which Chris was really happy about before we started the podcast.
They're really smarky towns as well, so good job with that one. I'm surprised Chicago wasn't in there as well, or Toronto, which is a surprisingly smarky town. I didn't realise just how smarky Toronto is. We'll get to that. But yeah, I just... We were talking about it before we started the pod. I thought, well, why announce on the third show that there's going to be a title defense? Just let the natural stories progress, or the stories that you've projected into the show. Let them progress in a way that it looks like it's supposed to on television, rather than going, in this show we'll be doing this. Just let it unfold. If you book it, they will come.
They announced, is it Sean Spears versus John Moxley as well for one of the matches, I think.
Okay.
In the Boston, I think. I'll probably get this completely wrong, and Jack will be like, no. But I'm sure they released...
Did you just put a smart voice on for Jack?
Yeah.
No, not that one.
But yeah, I'm sure John Moxley versus Sean Spears has been announced for one of the shows.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, to me personally, I just like the idea that it's an AEW show. It's going to sell out regardless.
Oh, yeah.
So
definitely.
I don't understand why there's a need to announce the matches that are on events post the one that's just about to happen. It's a really minor criticism, but for me, it just leaves me a little bit about it, to be honest.
According to the Melt, NXT looks more and more likely to be moving to Fox and going directly head-to-head with AEW by starting at the same time and being 2 hours long. He's also added that it will also be likely to become live as well.
Okay, I didn't read this until just now. There's pros and cons to this. I mean, the fact that NXT is taped at Full Sail is taped at Full Sail means that things can be edited out and put in, and you're getting a lot of new talent, some of which... how do I put this? You've got regular Joe, who's a new guy who's just joined the PC. He's done his work. He's getting there. He's getting near to the point where he can debut on NXT Tape TV. If it doesn't work, they don't need to put it in the show. If it's on a live show and it doesn't work, he gets vilified. It's a really sort of awkward position to be in. I mean, look, ultimately, if you're good enough, then you'll succeed in NXT. But if you're not good enough to start with and need more time to progress, then it's not going to go well for you. And I think it also adds a lot more pressure on the likes of Velveteen Dream, on the likes of Matt Riddle and some of the other top guys. I mean, Undisputed Era, of course, it adds more pressure onto those guys to perform on a live TV show on Fox, which is a massive thing, and to be announced that you're going in direct competition with AEW, which is what this clearly is. This is Vince flexing his penis muscles, isn't it? It's him just basically just getting his dick out and flopping it in front of them on the table, going, "This is how big we are." And poor AEW could be in for a bit of trouble here, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's also a reason why we keep seeing big main roster, not big main roster, but main roster guys coming back to NXT.
In theory, yeah.
So Tyler Breeze, Fandango.
Well, it's also the fact that NXT doesn't have that many credible tag teams at the moment.
That is true, but you might see a few more going that way.
If it's for the betterment of the brand, then yeah. If you want to throw Cesaro into the main event title picture, his name has
been mentioned.
Yeah, that's just a term off the top of my head. If you want to throw, you could throw Heath Slater into a cheeky stable down there for a laugh, and he can get anything over because he's dumb and funny. So, or you throw the Hype Bros into, or not Hype Bros because they're not a thing anymore, but
Kurt Hawkins
and Zack Ryder into matches down there, and yeah, it can work. I mean, of course, you've got the possibility of the sort of half news that Vince is sort of getting more involved in NXT as well. But then
that slightly worries me a little bit.
But you see, it doesn't worry me that much because it's at the point now where NXT as a brand is well established in its own right. Vince is not that stupid. I'm sorry, but people seem to think that Vince is dumb and doesn't got his finger on the pulse in any way, shape, or form. Yes, he might be a little bit out of touch, but he takes his cues from Trips on NXT, clearly. Vince still oversees everything. He oversees everything. But he takes more guidance from Trips when it comes to NXT. So I'm sure, I'm confident that it won't be affected too heavily. And I don't think you'll even notice it.
Yeah, I think you can't really make a judgment until it actually happens. So.
Yeah, agreed. You need to give it a chance at least.
Yeah, that's true. Also coming from the Melt, AEW will likely run one more pay-per-view in 2019 after All Out, and then in 2020 will run 4 pay-per-views, which in my opinion is a good idea when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have too many pay-per-views, one after another.
100%. 100% I agree. The only reason they're doing multiple pay-per-views at the moment is to keep themselves relevant and to give Being the Elite. Yeah. It keeps all those shows, it keeps everything relevant until they get to weekly television. So yeah, if you're gonna have, if you're only gonna have a few pay-per-views in a year, makes total sense. You don't want to oversaturate your market. You don't have to sort of flip-flop between 15 different fucking stories. Yeah, keep it simple. I think that makes perfect sense for now.
Yeah. Paige underwent surgery over SummerSlam weekend on her neck. Nothing major, but she's claimed that she has the neck of a 60-year-old.
Well, that's what happens when you take bumps like a motherfucker at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16, etc.
Yes. Right? We recently bought the DVD of Fighting With My Family. We saw it in the cinema, but it's so...
Is it good? Is it good? Because it's on Sky Q. I keep meaning to just check it out.
It's very good. I enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
I'm trying to get members of the family who don't watch wrestling to watch it.
I mean, I think Mrs. K might watch that. Well, I might have a word with her about that. But I mean, because I saw the original documentary. I remember seeing it, the documentary that the movie's based off, the Channel 4 Fighting With My Family documentary. I've seen it, and I'd seen it once on YouTube, but I'd seen it before that. It may have even been on the when it was on Channel 4, because back when I was sort of getting back into wrestling, and you hear the stories of what Saraya is her name, what Saraya went through, man. It's fucking nuts. Taking bumps like that at that age is just it's nasty.
Nope,
the fuck out of there. No, not a chance. And
Indeed.
That's probably the reason why she's got the neck of a 60-year-old. And unfortunately, it's, you only have so many bumps you can take. There's only so many you can do. Yeah, you take one bad one, you spike a bad one, and that's it, gone. Career over. And, I just think, I think she needs a backstage role. I don't think we need her on TV anymore. This Kabuki Warriors shite is crap, but we'll get to that at some other point. But put her in a Japanese group where she has no chemistry with it. It only harms Paige. Completely harms her.
She's only there to be the mouthpiece, effectively.
But she doesn't need to be the mouthpiece, because...
Just get them to shout aggressively in Japanese. That's
they don't need
what I want.
They don't need a mouthpiece. All they need, they're there to turn up, look cool, do all the Japanese shit, and fight. That's all they need. That's what they need to do. Look at Yoshirai. We'll get to that.
I can't wait to talk about.
We'll get to that. And just that's all it needs. And just get on with it. You don't need Paige involved with that. Because Paige knows how to put a match together. She's put plenty of matches together in the past. She was someone who in the locker room back when it was Divas thing. She was the only one who knew how to fucking wrestle, pretty much, as far as I guess. But I mean, from what she's explained before, she basically only knew how to fucking wrestle. And she can put matches together. Put with Sarah Del Rey. Get her fucking booking. Get her behind the scenes working there. She doesn't need to be on TV anymore. It doesn't need to happen. And she's shit on commentary, so don't put her on there. She's not eloquent. Yeah. As much as I like her, she's not eloquent enough to be put on commentary. Not a chance.
No.
Completely agree. Daniel Bryan's career-changing announcement has reportedly been scrapped by the WWE, and we are now expected to forget it ever happened.
That's fine. And the career. I'm curious. I'm curious to read in Daniel Bryan's book sometime down the line what the career-changing announcement was supposed to be, or whenever we see Daniel Bryan next interviewed or whatever. I would like to know what it was or what it was planned to be, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of happy that it's not, because this storyline with Roman and Daniel and Rowan and Buddy Murphy is very good at the minute. I'm happy with it as it is, to be honest. You didn't see SmackDown, but I'll explain it when we get down the line. So yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Cheers. The first SmackDown Live on Fox will be a 20-year anniversary featuring legends from the yesteryear.
Great.
Yay! Lots of Matt Riddle throwing flip-flops.
No. You know what it is. It's just to get a spike in the ratings.
Of course.
It's to spike the ratings even more. You'll get The Rock will appear. The Rock will be there, no doubt.
Of course it will.
Because
it's SmackDown.
Yeah,
he invented it effectively with his catchphrase.
Absolutely.
Couple more AEW news. ITV box office have confirmed that they will be showing All Out over here in the UK, which is
top-notch level awesomeness.
That's very nice indeed.
Indeed.
£15 as well. So fuck you, Yanks. I'm sorry.
We do not condone Chris's actions. We love you all.
Pay you $60 and shut up. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's I don't know why the prices are so all over the place, but
I think ITV do the same for boxing, so I think they've just kept it a similar price. Because people will go, why is boxing more expensive or cheaper than?
I'm not being funny, right? Would you pay 50? Well, if you're going by the going rate, £48 to £52 to watch All Out?
No,
fuck no, I wouldn't pay that.
I'd find an illegal stream.
He said he'd find an illegal stream. Would you pay £15 to watch it?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably would. Because it's going to be a good event. It would have to live up to expectations for it to be for it to be viable for me to pay £15 for it. I'm still 50-50 as to whether I'm going to do it or not, or whether I'm going to use Jack's Fight TV login and watch it later on.
That's probably what I'm going to do.
If I pay for it, I'll be watching it on Space Toaster stream, and we'll be doing a little watch along on there. I'll leave details of that. Details for that will be sooner to the time. Might as well mention I'll be doing NXT Takeover UK watch along on my Twitch channel. I don't know who's coming along tonight yet. I might see if I can wrestle Darry up, or maybe Wolfie as well, who've both started a podcast very recently as well. Congratulations, you guys.
Viable competition. Bring it on.
Okay. You throw me off. So yeah, I'll see if I can rustle up some people to be part of a live streamed watch along of NXT Takeover UK. I've not watched NXT Takeover UK since. Oh my god, it's Walter. So it'll be interesting. No, I bet you haven't. No. So it'll be interesting to see how it's evolved in any way, shape, or form. So come along. It'll be 31st of August at 8 o'clock. Twitch.tv/Kanga TV, Kanga FM, not Kanga TV. That's not a thing. Twitch.tv/Kanga FM. Go. We'll check it out on there. As you were.
Also, Orange Cassidy has signed a contract with AEW from the most recent being the Elite.
Yep, fair fucks. Makes total sense.
People have been now fantasy booking lots of matches with Orange Cassidy. I think someone said we need Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy.
No, we need Jimmy Havoc versus Orange Cassidy.
Jimmy Havoc versus Orange Cassidy, etc.
Luchasaurus.
Yeah,
it'd be good fun. And also you can't forget that he's actually a very, very, very good wrestler. Yes. In his own right, regardless of the gimmick, he's a very good wrestler, a technical wrestler as well. So I'll be interested to see what they do with him, how they're going to utilize him week by week. That might be an interesting way of doing things, but he may provide the comic relief because there isn't that much comic relief on the AEW show as it is. So interesting.
It will
be. Choice.
We've probably seen this on Raw this week, but King of the Ring is making a return, and it will all kick off on next week's Raw. I saw a video from Austin Creed,
yes.
which is what's his face from the New Day. His name's just gone. Xavier Woods. Okay, and he seems to be the reason. He's not the actual reason, but the reason why they brought King of the Ring back, because he kept doing videos like old SmackDown video games saying, bring back King of the Ring. I want to be in the King of the Ring. King of the Ring was awesome. And then apparently it happened, and then he's not in it because he said he really wanted to be in King of the Ring like over and over again, and then it's not happened. And he's like sad, kind of sad.
Players. So I've just seen the DM group. Fucking Only Lorcan is genuinely my second. He's now becoming my favourite wrestler on Twitter. Now I know I'm interrupting everything with this. Apologies. I'm going off the flow. But on 205 Live next week there'll be 5v5 Team Lorcan versus Team Gulag. And Only Lorcan has just tweeted in block capitals: the first person I choose to have on my team is Gentleman Gallagher, because he's the first person to have my back after 205 Live on Tuesday, and because he has a mustache and he knows karate. I love that. That's fucking brilliant. Thanks, Jack, for
great reasoning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jack, for bringing that to my attention. As you were, sorry.
Yeah, so the King of the Ring stuff, it seems like it's just going to be on Raw, and there's going to be no pay-per-view at the end of it, which is a massive shame, because I used to love King of the Ring pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Especially the year, I know this is nostalgia, but the year when Shane and Kurt Angle had a match.
2000 or 2001?
Yeah, and they had the giant
but that was a pay-per-view.
electric chair. That was great. I love that.
But that wasn't a pay-per-view. That was that wasn't a King of the Ring match. That was a pay-per-view.
No, exactly.
A pay-per-view.
Bring back pay-per-views with King of the Ring. We don't need TLC or Hell in a Cell or whatever nonsense gimmick pay-per-views.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you
want to know who the competitors are? The named competitors for the King of the Ring.
I think Cesaro's name was in there.
So we got Raw, Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Cedric Alexander, who had a really good showing on Raw, Drew McIntyre, who again had a very good showing on Raw, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. All very, very. A lot of those could credibly be given a King of the Ring title or be crowned King of the Ring. On SmackDown, you got Ali, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Chad Gable, 24/7 champion Elias, who's not 24/7 champion. He is. Yeah, he is. Kevin Owens and Shelton Benjamin. Now, there's. You could argue that Cesaro could win it, Cedric could win it, Drew could win it, Ricochet could win it, Samoa Joe could win it, not Miz. Ali could win it, Andrade could win it, Buddy Murphy, who's got a monstrous push after the Roman Reigns match, and Kevin Owens could win it. So there's 8 out of the 12 there that you could viably say could win it.
But someone's Twitter handle already has King in it.
King Booker.
Wrong one.
Who is it?
King Ricochet. King Ricochet.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where have I heard that before?
It's probably going to be Ricochet, isn't it?
I think it probably will be.
But then I'm not being funny. Kevin Owens, you could argue, is the most over person at the moment on TV. Weekly television. Yeah. Not Fiends not on weekly TV. It doesn't count. Right, where were we? Sorry.
G1 Climax final happened between Kota Ibushi and Jay White. We also had, a bit of a swerve with Kenta joining Bullet Club. So there was a tweet that 24 hours before the G1 Climax event happened. Tama Tonga tweeted saying, "I've just got a new recruit because I'm a hero," or something along those lines to some effect. And it turns out it's Kenta. So it was a 3-on-3 match. So it was Kenta was with members of Chaos, I think. Ishii and I forgot his name. Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi against the Bullet Club, which was the Tangaloa, Tama Tonga, and Bad Luck Fale. He refused a tag, did Kenta, during the match.
As you do.
Then stood at the bottom of the ramp and just stood there, and then got involved later on to attack Yoshihashi and make Bullet Club win the match. Then went mental, and then Shibata
and then
came out.
Shibata! And it went fucking mad. The place went fucking age. Right, okay.
They went mad, right. Yeah.
Listeners and fellow members of the podcast will know that I know literally fuck all about New Japan. I watch if there's some major events that happen, I will sit in a seat on Squared Circle. I'll check it out. Right. I know about the past of Shibata where he got a fucking disgusting injury. Lucky to be alive. I didn't realise that he'd come back to the ring already and said hello and did his thing again. But nonetheless, so he came back and delivered the dirtiest dropkick into the corner, and the knee,
and the big boots as well.
Big boots. And then he took his shirt off, and the crowd went fucking. I've not heard a Japanese crowd do that ever. I've not heard a noise like that, probably since Nakamura. But just mad, absolutely insane. And then Kenta and Bullet Club fucked him up at the end.
Yes.
But because
great move, I think. Yes. Kenta joining Bullet Club.
Absolutely fantastic mood.
I have a feeling it could be Kenta versus Shibata in a match.
Which is master versus... Oh no, it's a mentor versus mentee.
Yeah, because Shibata runs one of the dojos, doesn't he?
Well, Shibata's trained.
Yeah, I think he owns one of the... I think it's the LA one. He trains at the LA one.
Oh, fuck knows.
Which is cool. But yeah, I watched the G1 throughout. I fell asleep multiple times trying to watch it today, but I finally got through it.
Why are you so tired?
I don't know.
What's the matter with you?
I did get up really early this morning to try and watch SummerSlam.
How early?
I watched it. 7.
Please, that's not early.
You have kids. You know what the definition of early is.
5:30 today, mate. Go hard or go home.
But yeah,
clanging and banging at 4 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah, but Kota Ibushi Jay White was a great match. I think it's nice to see Ibushi win it. I did have visions at one point during the match that Jay White was going to win. Obviously, Gato trying to get involved, as he does, trying to hide around the ring because he'd been ejected. Absolutely hilarious. But literally all of Bullet Club came out at the start of the match. And
I've seen that picture. I've seen the picture of Jay White just sitting there, and then all you can see is just Bullet Club surrounding him. That looked fucking bad.
It looks so good.
Oh my God. It's like 1 versus like 8. It looked fucking cool.
But they got all ejected apart from Gato. Gato stayed.
Because Gato.
Then he got ejected because he tried to trip him up. But it was actually nice to see we'll call it a Shinsuke Nakamura Kinshasa, but they don't call it that. But he literally did he did the yow and then ran towards Jay White, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Shout out to the Young Lions as well. Like Jack mentioned it in the DMs the other day. He said, "Like, go and watch the Young Lion match because it's unreal." So it's the LA Dojo guys came over as well.
Yeah.
So it was 2 LA Dojo guys against 2 Japanese Dojo ones.
Who's fucking Moxley's young like? What's his fucking
Shota Amino, who I saw very early on last year. I saw him at Strong Style Evolved UK, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" And I was like, "It's just a Young Lion match. No one really cares." And then I saw him again many times, like in the last couple of months, and I was just like, "Oh, I remember. Oh my God, he's really good. I should have paid more attention." But yeah, this stuff, I think. I
do like how Moxley's taken him under his wing and things
definitely.
Like that. He's got him wearing the Death Rider's leather jacket. And
he was wearing that.
Cool. It's like his little friend, bless him. He's got a little buddy. It reminds. It's silly. I tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of William Regal and Tajiri. From years and years and years ago, when William Regal had Tajiri, Tajiri was basically his assistant, and then Tajiri was begging to go and fight him. "Please, can I fight in the ring?" And William Regal's like, "Oh, go on then, I'll let you go." And then it turns out that Tajiri's a fucking killer, and Regal's like, "Oh my God, what have I got here?"
Yeah, like I know, like in this match, and so he had a match with Moxley in a tag team match, but he took the pin. But he was against Juice Robinson and
someone.
Mine's gone blank. But yeah, it isn't. No, it wasn't Toriano.
No, I was like saying that.
He was in like a 5-on-5, so I skipped that.
I just like to say Toriano just to fight Jack off because Jack really hates him.
I think he's quite funny. That's me. But yeah, so I think it's Ren Narita is the other young line at the moment that is turning some heads. So keep an eye out for Narita if you've not seen a match.
Okay.
With Ren Narita in. But yeah, Narita and Shota Amino are good because Amino is Red Shoes' son.
Ah, good old Red Shoes. Love me Red Shoes. There's something else that's happened. There's been an intake of basically a youth intake for NXT.
Oh, the PC thing.
Yeah, PC. And I know that what's his fucking name? Austin Theory's joined.
From Evolve.
Yes, Austin Theory's.
Well, he was there, wasn't he? He was there on Saturday.
And everyone is raving about him being like the next big. I don't say the next big thing because that's Brock Lesnar, but it's like the next one to be the charismatic, absolute genius in the ring. I've not seen any of Austin Theory's work, but all I'm hearing is good things. So I need to go and check out some of his Evolve stuff, to be honest.
Yes, definitely. And then finally, we've got through the news, just about. According to Pro Wrestling Sheet, Roman Reigns has signed a new multi-year deal.
Good on him, because it's because I didn't really realise just how much of a locker room leader he is, but that is all that whenever you hear like backstage stuff or like, you know, interviews, some sort of behind the scenes stuff, they all talk about how much Roman Reigns is the archetypal locker room leader. He runs the show behind the scenes in terms of from the wrestler's end, and it's great to see. And I'm really enjoying Roman Reigns at the moment. I'm really enjoying him.
I am as well.
And honestly, it's because he's not in a title picture, and he wasn't on SummerSlam. That was really needed. He didn't need to be on SummerSlam, and I'm happy. And with all due respect, I'm happy that he wasn't, because he didn't have a story. He didn't have a story going on. There was no need to throw him in a fucking nonsensical match on there, or just a fucking jobber match or anything like that. That was not needed. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good because the story continuation from the stuff with him and Buddy Murphy and Rowan actually happened in another match, which didn't involve Roman Reigns.
It did. That was very clever, and I liked that. It was a very nice segue to keep the story going, and very, very useful. We might as well get onto that now, seeing as the news is done, and prediction results.
So prediction results went thus. So we'll include NXT and SummerSlam in this. Me and Matt both drew with 13 correct predictions.
That's because one of you copied from the other one. I don't know who it was, but I'm going to find out.
Because I did mine first, because I knew I wasn't going to be around on the computer on Thursday, and I did mine Wednesday night. So I saw Matt did mine his afterwards. Matt, I'm coming for you.
Oh, the shots have been fired. That's a pod title. All right, Matt, I'm coming for you. That is a pod title.
Chris came second with 12.
Don't know how, considering I fucked up NXT so badly.
And Jack lost again. What is going on, Jack?
You know what it is? It's because Jack tries to overbook things. I think he has a set path, and if it deviates from that, then his entire predictions are crumbled. He has his theory, and then if anything deviates from that theory, then the whole thing falls apart. And I think that's what's happened there. So I was say, because I had my theory that UE holds all the gold, and that completely fell apart within half an hour of NXT starting.
When I listened to you talk about that last week, and Dari said exactly the same, I just went, "Oh, they're so right. They're so right." And then when I watched the first one, and I saw Street Profits win, I went, "Oh my God, I've actually got something right for once."
Because the thing that didn't make any sense to me, right, is in the build-up, in the actual build-up, my Twitter header is tonight with instead of the O, it has the UE logo. And tonight, because it was plugged as part of, it plugged during fucking Unsainted, which was a fucking great idea.
Great tune.
Right, okay, we'll get to, I'll explain it now. So, NXT started with, I didn't watch any of the pre-show because fucking nonsense.
No, I didn't.
The lights go black, and I didn't recognise the song to start with, and it sounded like a live performance. I thought, fuck me, it's not there. I had a sort of weird sort of feeling that Slipknot.
Yeah, because the beginning of the song's got the choir singing
the choir bit, and I thought, fuck me, a Slipknot there. That'd be amazing to get a live Slipknot performance, but never mind. It took me a few seconds to get it, and I thought, it's Unsainted. Of course, I know, I heard that. And it just 2 minutes before the show actually kicks off, of every single story arc explained to fantastic music. And this is something that I put on Twitter earlier on, I think it was yesterday or maybe today, was that I'm certain that over the last sort of very recently, there's been much more of a emphasis in music in wrestling again.
NXT has always had that, though, I think.
It has, but not to that extent. I mean, not even just NXT, we're talking sort of mainline as well. There seems to be more influence coming into music.
That's how I remember promos. Like, I can go back to when My Way was one of the promo themes for Rock Austin. I can remember as well, not behind Blue Eyes. It was a Limp Bizkit. Another Limp Bizkit song was a
Crack Addict.
Was something? No, it was
Crack Addict was WrestleMania 19, but that wasn't
WrestleMania. It was like a SummerSlam or something. Saint Anger by Metallica. That reminded me of a SummerSlam. I think that was the first Elimination Chamber at SummerSlam.
Nothing Else Matters was one as well. I know they've had plenty of Metallica because
unreal. But most recently, like Avenged Sevenfold, when they did the Triple H versus Roman Reigns, that was the best thing about that. Don't care about that.
The song, yeah.
Promo was unreal. So, like, if you can make a promo before a match, instead of having to re-show them 42 times on the pre-show, don't bother showing them on the pre-show and wait, because some of them are unreal, and they will make you remember those specific pay-per-views because music can really get you to just remember things easily than just oh, this match happened. Well, I don't really remember the match because it was a match. Whereas if you remember the promo with the music that goes with it, you go, oh, yeah, I want to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like having separate music for the build up to the Io Shirai and Candice LeRae match, having music that fits the type of match or the anger behind the match and things like that. It's a very nice, very good way of doing things, and I long to see it more often because I've been introduced to like different music that because I'm old now, and I claim I'm old. I'm 32, but I'm old. I don't listen to new music as much anymore. Music used to be such an important thing in my life. It was, I mean, I played bass and things like that because I loved music back then. But now I don't listen to sort of nowadays music. I listen to sort of late 90s to sort of 2000, like late 2010 or things like that. That's the sort of music I sort of listen to nowadays. So I don't necessarily get to hear new music as much, and just hearing things like that, like bring more of it, more of the new music. That's what I say.
Yes, definitely. So back to the predictions just quickly. Because me and Matt both got 13, we put it out to a Twitter vote, but you lot are so obsessed with both of us, you voted for both of us to 50-50 split, so therefore we both win. In Jack's words, they're both knobheads, so they both get the win. I
voted for you, Smoothen, by the way.
Cheers.
Love you, Matt.
Did you see the tweet that I put out where I said, vote for me or else I get the Fiend on you?
Yeah, that was a thing, yes.
That was a thing. Because Jack isn't here, we can say how bad he was and how he owes £5.
Yes, he's a very bad man, and now he owes £5 more. I still owe a £5, by the way. That reminds me, I should probably do that at some point. Right, should we go into the takeovers? Because we're nearly an hour down.
Yes, NXT. That's mad. That's just fun news. Yeah. NXT Tag Championship match: the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era. I thought was unreal. I know a lot of people. I know Jack said this. Jack said that it was probably the most weakest NXT takeover, but I think for me, this match was mainly seeing things in tag team wrestling that I've never seen before. And that's why I really enjoyed this more than probably some of the other matches on the card. Yeah,
see, for me, I really enjoyed the match. It's because I don't watch NXT week to week. I only get my opinion of wrestlers is solely based on takeovers, and I like that because it just makes sense to me to do. Unless something amazing happens in a NXT which gets flagged up on Reddit, I'll watch it from there. But I mean, I knew of the Street Profits. I've seen bits and bobs from Street Profits. Shout out to Montez, you're my boy. But you've got he's our boy. He's our boy for life, man. We've got just seeing Street Profits work in a match, and a really technical match like that the Undisputed Era bring in. It was a really enjoyable match.
Oh yeah,
and you had what I forgot the other guy's name. Montez. What's the other guy's fucking name?
Angelo Dawkins
throwing people around, literally throwing Bobby Fish, and seeing just again going back to what Ruben said, seeing things that I don't necessarily get to see that often or see at all.
Like Montez Ford trying to do a people's elbow.
That was funny.
And then doesn't get a chance to do it, but then comes back in the ring and does a
rock bottom.
Rock bottom anyway. I think it's just like stuff where they're obviously they do I can't remember which tag team used to do it, but where he drapes them over the top rope, he's holding him on his shoulders all around his waist, and then Montez jumps over him and lands on him. I can't remember who did that.
I can't remember myself either.
But like you don't see some of that stuff anymore, or some of the Montez Ford's Spinebuster is a thing of beauty.
Yes, it is.
Like, I thought Bobby Roode's Spinebuster when I saw him do it was, that looks good. But Montez Ford is better, I think.
Montez is money, genuinely, and that's not a knock on Angelo Dawkins. Montez, they've got some money in Montez. Seriously, he could be champion. He could be Universal Champion. He's got the charisma
as well, and I think that's why Vince has asked them to come up to do backstage segments,
because he's funny.
They're funny, and like Angelo Dawkins is beatboxing wrestlers' theme tunes and stuff like that. It's great.
They complement each other very well because Angelo's a bit more deadpan than Montez, and Montez is very eccentric, very entertaining, and Angelo's a bit more sort of placid and quite deadpan. And the way the two sort of mesh together is very, very entertaining. And that's what they are. They're an entertaining tag team that can go. And Montez is incredibly athletic, and the height he gets on a frog splash is unreal.
Wasn't there No, it wasn't him. Ignore me.
It's a 5-star frog splash. It's up there with RVD in terms of height because it's just nuts, and like I really just enjoy watching them. And yeah, I have got a man crush. Yeah, Montez, he man crush. They're just very entertaining to watch, and I hope they stay down there for a bit longer and continue to elevate the NXT tag division. Yeah, I look forward to seeing more from them. Yes.
Then we shifted into something a bit more serious. Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai, and when I first watched this, I only watched up to the triple threat. So I didn't see the main event, and I didn't see the women's title match.
Yeah.
So at that point, when I went to bed, I was like, "That for me is match of the night so far." Like,
yeah. When I watched it all the way through. I'll be honest. I didn't. No. I watched tag title match, Candice Io Shirai, and most of the Triple Threat live. Fell asleep. Watched the last 2 and a bit the next morning, and at the time I thought I watched it, and then I put in the group, Candice Io Shirai match of the night straight away, and then watched the championship match again. And then thought, actually, it's not. It's the championship match that's better. But honestly, that Candice Io Shirai match, Io Shirai, my God, I cannot wait. I can't wait for that fucking thing to hit on fucking Spotify and everything else. It needs to happen now. Hurry
up, CFO.
Oh my God. Well, the Fiends one's already out. Get that one out. Fuck's sake.
Exactly.
But no, it was. I didn't know what to expect. We all knew Io Shirai could go. We knew that already.
I liked Io Shirai, like seeing little bits of her heel turn, and I was like, and then I saw the Candice LeRae stuff, and I was like, do you know what? Going into it, I wasn't really bothered. And and to be honest, if it wasn't for Io Shirai's heel work leading up to it, I probably would have skipped this.
It's. I get what you're saying. It's something that I mentioned that. The match surprised me on the basis that I went into the match with sort of no sort of clear idea. When we knew Io Shirai was going to win, but there was no sort of clear idea of just how and how well Io Shirai handles being a heel. Because we know Candice is white meat babyface, fantastic in the ring. Candice, she's fucking brilliant. But I didn't go into it with any sort of preconceived idea that, oh my God, this is going to be amazing, and I wasn't let down, or oh my God, this is going to be shit, and I was sort of let up from it. I went in there completely sort of judgment free, wait to see what happens, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's just a fantastic match from start to finish.
Instant 5 stars.
Pardon?
Spanish Fly instant 5
stars. Yeah. I mean, I put it as a joke on Twitter. 5 star. We had a fucking Spanish Fly, top pro Spanish Fly, 5 star. Simple. Yeah, I put 3 3/4, but whatever. We'll go with 5.
It was very good how I can't remember if it's Candice really took it to Shirai first off, didn't she? She literally just didn't wait.
Yeah.
Just boom.
And Shirai took control like a motherfucker.
Like we had use of the announce table with a suplex. We had things like just like trying to deliver 619s and stuff like that. Oh my God, Candice LeRae doing a torpe suicida, but instead of doing that, turns it into a tornado DDT.
It catches Mauro Ranallo out.
I was not expecting it, and neither was Mauro Ranallo. I was like, oh my God.
Mauro Ranallo, torpe suicida DDT, torpe suicida DDT, what the... And proper Mamma Mia chants and all that sort of shit. No,
Only bleep indeed.
Oh, it was just pure nuts. No, it was fantastic. I loved it. I loved just the way they told the story. Io Shirai comes off looking fucking badass. Candice comes out of it looking incredible as well. She's, she got beaten by an absolute fucking psychopath, and that's fine. it's fine. It leads on to the women's title match, which no, it doesn't. It's the North American Championship, so we'll do that now. Then we'll do the women's championship match in a minute.
I don't know what I think about this match, and I know if I speak my mind, Jack's gonna hang me.
You want to know why? Because it's three fantastic workers in the ring. You came in with high expectations and it fell slightly short.
Yeah, a little.
Or
bit.
is it Pete Dunne at the pin?
No, it wasn't even the fact that Pete Dunne lost and ate the pin. It was just, I don't know. It seemed to lack something for me. I just can't find what it was, but it was still a good match.
Oh, very entertaining.
I genuinely think this. I think Jack said that this was better than the Candice LeRae match. I don't think it was.
Well, I think the reason why is, again, for me. Bear in mind, we've started our own internal star rating system, a Meltzer 5-star system, if you will, and it's. I mean, I've given the North American title 3.5, and I gave the Candice and Io match 3 3/4, and that's a personal preference on the basis that expectations. And we know Velveteen can go. We know Roderick Strong can go. We know Pete Dunne can go. We know all three of them working together should be gold. It should have been a 5-star match, but to me, it just lacked a little bit. And that's nothing against any of the wrestlers.
Oh, definitely.
It was just a little bit. Yeah. I even said in the DMs, it was like, there's something wrong with this pay-per-view to me. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but something just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. It's one of those weird ones that I can't really explain.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Like, I love Velveteen Dream, I love Pete Dunne, I love Roderick Strong, but this match, although it was very good, I just felt like it lacked something. I don't know why.
I think it could have gone a little bit longer, to be honest. It did feel quite short.
Maybe because it was a triple threat. I don't know. Triple threats are always one of those things where, because obviously at certain points you're going to have 3 people in an absolute clusterfuck.
Oh yeah. And you're
going to get points where it's just 2 of them and one person's going to be outside the ring for a long period of time.
Or you can have all 3 of them punching each other in the faces for a little bit, which
was great.
It was funny, but it's just again. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. And this is a podcast where I'm supposed to talk about things, but I can't eloquently explain why this match wasn't more than it was. I mean, as I said, maybe it could have gone a little bit longer. Maybe it needed a couple more high spots, or maybe it needed a bit more ferocity to it. But there was just something that just didn't seem to click perfectly for me. Again, and it was a fine match. It was a perfectly fine match.
If it was like the coast to coast AWO, that was.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. If this was on a Raw or SmackDown, we'd be ranting and raving about it.
Yes,
but it was on a takeover. It was from three arguably some of the best workers in NXT. Period, and it just felt a little off to me.
In some ways, I think it was there to kind of calm you down a little bit after the heel barrage of what's happened before, maybe, and.
I guess.
Therefore, it's not going to be over the top, but
you could argue the placing was a little off.
To be better than the previous, I think.
You could argue that the placing would have been a bit off. I mean, Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim wasn't really anything to me at all, and that you could argue that the placing in that match could have been a bit different. You could have swapped that and the North American title match around, and that maybe could have kept it a bit better, but again, it's so hard. It's difficult to nitpick, but that because it sounds like that's what I'm doing. It sounds like I'm being really picky and really sort of fickle, if you will, to borrow a phrase from Daniel Bryan. But I just no. I might need to go back and watch it again, and then I can form a stronger opinion on it. But there just wasn't. It doesn't stand out in my brain. It's not like a Gargano versus Almas or Black versus Cole, or Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream, or Dunn versus Tyler Bate. It doesn't have that sort of instant classic moment in my mind when arguably it should have been.
I think they tried. I've read a comment here from Bleacher Report. Sorry, but they kind of do sum it up quite well, because they said sometimes too much of a good thing can prove detrimental. Dream, Dunn, and Strong are 3 of the best in-ring performers in NXT. Timing is extraordinary. Chemistry in singles matches fought between them has been undeniable. they're also incredibly creative workers. While that creativity was full on display, the match fell apart midway through. It got messier than necessary at times because of the amount of action and the cutesy spots it tried to pack into it, rather than reverting to the three-way formula that sees one guy powder while the others do their thing. Tried too hard to keep all three involved.
I guess, yeah.
Which kind of resonates a little bit with me. I think they tried to do too much.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of Pete Dunne stuff is joint manipulation.
Slow, methodical.
Yeah. Velveteen Dream is very much... He starts his matches like that, but then he ramps it up.
And very flamboyant.
Whereas Roderick Strong is very much technical, I will break your back. But he gets to that by being relatively methodical in his own way.
Sure.
So I think that's why it's having those three together in a match that is a triple threat probably should work, but didn't quite work how we expected it, I think.
Yeah, I guess. And this leads on to Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. Now,
honestly, I watched this the morning after, and yeah, it was. I don't know if it's because I'm going to say this and people are going to hate me for it. I'm kind of bored of Shayna Baszler.
I'm not bored of Shayna Baszler. I just don't think she's got a credible challenge. She does now, but she didn't for this match.
Yeah,
and
maybe that's probably what it is.
Honestly,
we've had matches where it's been, yes, it's definitely Shayna Baszler. Yes, it's definitely Shayna Baszler. I genuinely got it wrong this time and thought she was losing it. Don't know why I thought that, because Mia Yim is not credible to be a champion right now.
Right. I don't want to shit on Mia Yim because I didn't know that much about her. Again, NXT, don't watch it week to week. I've seen bits and drips and drabs of her. There's a lot of I sort of put some bits out about Mia Yim, and I was hearing she was incredibly good in TNA and on the indie scene, but she seems to have stalled a little bit since coming into NXT. She seems to maybe have rested on laurels, so to say. She's a wrestler that can fucking go, but for some reason it just hasn't clicked very well for her for NXT. I don't get the character. I just don't. I don't at the moment, and I'm sure I might do down the line. I mean, you didn't get Velveteen Dream for fuck's sake, so it's true. So it's kind of possible that I might get Mia Yim sometime down the line. But to me, I said it before. She dresses like someone's mum or dad who thinks that's how children dress or young people dress, with the bandana and the baggy bits. It's just there's no character to me. And I'm sorry, and I don't want to be a dick, but it just comes across that I'm being a total dick to this. But the match just felt sloppy. It felt rushed. It just didn't work for me in any way. And I put because Shayna Baszler had some fantastic matches, but Mia Yim hasn't in NXT, in my opinion. So I put more of the blame on Mia than Shayna. There's calls for Shayna to lose the title. I've seen it all over the place where, I'm bored of Shayna. I've had enough of Shayna. Look, Shayna, I don't mind whether Shayna loses the title or not. It would need to be to a credible champion or to a credible competitor. Mia Yim is not a credible competitor yet. I'm sorry, she's not.
No. The only thing that I did like throughout the match was the continuity of the arm spots. So
she did the code red off the top, and that looked all right.
Trapping her arm in the steps and kicking the steps and just working on that arm over and over again, because it made you think, Baszler's actually struggling here.
Yeah.
But
that saved me from giving it 1 star. Because honestly, I was not invested in this at all. It was of no sort of just nothing to me. It was a void of a match for me, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do feel really bad because I know that Shayna's a really good worker, and I know that I'm sure Mia Yim's a very good worker as well, but this just didn't work for me at all.
Mm. The way that Baszler won as well was obviously very good, because obviously her arm, she can't use it properly. Yeah. So she used a triangle instead, which that still looks as badass as her whatever.
Yeah, clutch. I guess.
So there were positive things to take out of it. But on the whole, it didn't grab me, unfortunately.
No, it wasn't to the standard of an NXT Takeover, personally, in my opinion. And that's Again, maybe harsh, and I'm sorry if that's the case, but to me, it wasn't of a takeover standard.
And I'm sure Jack will completely abuse us in the DM.
I'm sure he fucking will, but that's again, that's my opinion.
However, this match.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, so everybody. So we had this conversation about the third fall.
I called it.
And you did call it. I also said, or I was like, Jack thought it was not announced. And I was like, because I tried to check with Matt, because Matt was watching, like, Matt started about an hour later, but he watched it from the beginning. I didn't watch it from the beginning, but apparently on the pre-show, William Regal did announce what the third fall was going to be. I'd not seen that, but then I'd seen tweets of people taking photos of a black clothed box. That kind of gives it away. It's going to be a cage.
A very big shark tank.
Yeah. But the fact that I then saw other tweets which had videos or GIFs from the video, which must have been used in the pre-show, which had weapons on it, I was like, wow. But I think they should have kept that a complete secret.
I agree.
Because Jack, the way that he mentioned it to me in the DM, said he popped like a little bitch because of what he saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I popped like a motherfucker.
I knew it was coming, so then I was like, I know what's happening. They shouldn't have mentioned it on the pre-show, obviously, because if they'd have mentioned it on the pre-show, that takes all surprise element out of it. Yes, you can't get away with hiding a cage without putting a big black box around it. But I think if they'd have done that, you could go, oh, it's just going to be a cage match. But then when they lower it and you see all the stuff on it, you go, holy shit. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But I already knew what it was, so it kind of spoilt it for me. Should never check Twitter.
No, I know. The match itself was fantastic. The problem is I can't remember it. I can't remember. I can only remember the third fall.
I can.
I'm sorry, my mind's blank. I've been sitting there for the last 5 minutes whilst you've been talking about, we've been talking about all the other stuff. And at the same time, I'm trying to think, what the fuck happened in the Adam Cole Gargano match? I can't remember anything. What's going on in my brain? And all I can remember is some of the mental spots during that last fall.
Well, the first fall was very much a straight wrestling match. So there was a lot of times where they were looking for finishes.
I remember it.
They were looking for finishes a lot. There was a lot of targeting of the knee of Adam Cole.
Yeah.
There was a point where he's putting Gargano put in an ankle lock, injuring the knee even more. He escaped. Then we had
knee bar and
stuff like that. Yeah. And continued to work the knee, and it looked like he was going to win. But so then we had obviously back and forth. But it obviously showed the frustration that Cole couldn't beat him because obviously he used a Panama Sunrise and a Sunset Driver.
And he couldn't beat Gargano.
And he couldn't beat him with it.
But then Gargano couldn't beat Cole.
Yeah, so he was quite like that. But obviously Cole brought in the chair thinking, I cannot beat this man. I'm going to take an L because I need to, because I can't beat him any other way. But then Gargano's got the same feeling, but then he's got, well, actually, my stipulation is next, which I can win.
Yeah.
So if I start by losing this one by attacking him with a chair, DQ myself, we can get into the street fight stuff. I can fuck shit up, and then I can beat him.
I really enjoyed that. He welled the fuck up, and he's like, yeah, whatever, bring it on.
Which also works into like the commentators, because like Mauro Ranallo is like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you disqualify yourself? And then McGuinness is like, well, the next one's a street fight, so he's just going to continue, and you can kind of like go, oh yeah, this makes complete sense.
It does. And it was very entertaining, and I just love Gargano's face expression from staring at the hard cam going, wah, don't care, gonna wail on him some more.
The second fall, I don't remember too much of.
No.
I remember more of the first.
Were they fighting in the crowd in that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I don't remember it much, because they just fought in the crowd.
My mind's pretty much drawn a blank.
I know they took out the barricade, but the wrong way. So normally you do it the other way. They did it the ring, which was quite cool.
I'm really sorry. I can't remember anything now. I can't. Jack and Matt will crucify us, and the listeners may crucify us. I'm really sorry.
He brought in the tables. Obviously, it was just beating each other with a chair.
Yeah.
Like the chair just fell apart. Like there was bits flying off it. because they kept using the same one. We had the tables, but then he didn't use the tables until later on. So the way that the match ended, I'm just reading it because I couldn't remember this either. The steel chair was propped in between the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
It looked like Cole was going to do that to Gargano, but actually it was Gargano did it to Cole, and then when he came back, he got him in the Gargano escape.
Yeah.
But then just the next one was just spot.
Like the barbed wire steel cage, complete with weaponry.
Best thing is, what I really like about this was there was like a steel table.
Yeah.
So it looked like a normal table, but with a steel casing over it in one corner. So I was like, we're going to have a top cage spot come in.
Yeah, we know that's happening.
Then I saw the ladder, and I was like, nice. Yeah, I love a good ladder. Obviously, fire extinguisher, kendo sticks, chairs. But then I saw the bag.
Oh, the bag.
And the bag was, I was like the fans in the crowd because I was like, there's thumbtacks in there.
Tacks, are you fucking serious?
That's got tacks in there. And then when he got the bag later on, I know I'm jumping a bit, but he got the bag, emptied it, and everybody in the crowd, because it didn't have tacks in it. However, because it was William Regal, 2 lots of brass knuckles, I was like, yes.
Can I say that was a Regal troll? That was Regal trolling. I'm sorry, because what it is, he goes, there should have been some tracks in here. Instead, I put players and some brass knucks. Go fuck yourselves, you smarky bastards.
Loved it. I bet him and Shawn Michaels, because I think Shawn Michaels was very heavily involved in this match. Yeah, let's troll the fans because they'll hate us for this. But I thought, yeah, this is gonna be cool. And then the barbed wire on the top, I was like, nah. They're not going to do stuff with this, are they?
They're not.
They've seen AEW. Are they going to do it? They tried, but you knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just chair shots, constant chair shots, fire extinguisher, like what was it? The Panama Sunrise off the ladder, so he jumps off the ladder.
Oh, it was nuts.
Oh, it was just so Canadian Destroyers. It was just so good. I couldn't.
Ultimately, it ended with at the top because we do need to start speeding up because we're well into this now and we've got a lot to go through still. So it ended with the 2 falling off the steel coated table at the top, through 2 tables at the bottom. Cole just sort of rolled onto Gargano and got the pin.
Which is great. Again, it's another...
And then Gargano did a goodbye, and the people believe that he's going to main roster. I don't think he's going yet.
A picture of William Regal holding his arm and his just head's looking the other way. And he's like, I don't want to let go of you because you're so good. Please don't leave us. But no, like the bit with the pliers they were like cutters, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they actually cut some of the barbed wire, which I think Johnny Gargano was trying to use.
Yeah.
Or someone was trying to use, and then they felt like they pulled each other backwards to go through the table.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Interesting. Someone on the phones when interviewing Triple H called out Triple H and WWE for using blood.
I heard about this. I haven't watched it.
I've watched the video. I listened to it. So he pretty much just said, well, Vince McMahon came out the other week and said, we're not going to do any of that blood and gore shit, effectively. Yeah. And he pretty much kept digging and saying, well, what was the reason behind putting blood on Adam Cole? And he went, there was no blood on Adam Cole. But yeah, there was a bit of blood on his back. And Triple H went, you're just digging, mate, because that is accidental because he's brushed his back on the table. Are you going to say that's blood and guts? Like, pretty much called him out on it. And literally everybody in the room were just laughing because obviously Gorilla Position put the video on. Yeah. Because obviously they were there. And I was just like, that's just stupid. People are trying to make WWE look bad for calling out AEW and then trying to twist it to say, oh, you put blood on the TV show. Why are you doing that?
Oh, it's just fishing wankers. I'm glad Chip shut the fuck down anyway.
Probably works for Slice, to be fair.
Yes. Right, so should we head on to the SummerSlam?
Yes. I didn't watch the pre-show. Spoiler alert.
I caught bits of it. I wasn't all really paying attention to it, but you know.
Gulak defeated Lorcan.
Gulak defeated Lorcan. We knew it was going to happen anyway. Bliss and Cross beat the Iconics. Buddy Murphy and Apollo Crews got stopped due to Rowan interference and death,
which is good. Continuity of story with him and Roman Reigns, etc., etc.
Yes.
So
then the first match of the night was a submission match: Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Natty Neidhart. I thought it was a decent match. I
was thinking this is going to be trash,
but no, it was good.
It was okay. I'm not going to say it was great. It was okay.
It wasn't great. It was a perfectly fine match. I mean, because Natalya's a decent wrestler, and Becky's a decent wrestler as well, and it was a decent submission match, a lot of continuity. I like the fact that someone's grabbing for the ropes and I'm like, well, no, that doesn't work. You can't rope break.
They have to use it to pull themselves up and try and out of the ring instead, which is quite cool.
Becky hit a rather loose sharpshooter, but again, you know, fine, it's okay.
They both tried each other's submissions. It's a very different. I was good when I first watched this, and now that I've thought about it, I was going to take a massive dump on it because submission matches aren't great matches to watch, to be quite honest.
No.
They're a bit dull. It's constant putting people in holds, constantly trying to get.
No, it's not that. So I'm not that big a fan of just standard gimmick matches. I'm not a fan of like last man standing as a concept. Last man standing, or it really limits what you can do in a ring.
Yeah.
But as a submission match, the initial thought of a submission match for Becky, who only has one submission hold,
and for Natalya, who only has one
submission hold, and you're thinking, okay. Right, I mean, I'll watch it. But yeah, I watched it. It was a perfectly fine match.
Yeah,
it was a decent match, and the right person won, so it's okay.
Yeah, Becky won. They both tried each other's submission moves.
No, didn't Natalya do like a sharpshooter with Becky hanging out of the ring? That looked fucking gruesome. It's the first time. I swear it's the first time Natty's put on a sharpshooter correctly as well.
Probably.
But yeah, it was a fun match.
Yeah, so Becky won with a disarmer. We then had
Goldberg
versus Dolph Ziggler with, if you watch the WWE watch along on YouTube, it was brilliant. Have you seen the story about Matt Riddle, how he went to go and see Goldberg?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So if you haven't seen...
We need to have a talk, boy.
We need to have a talk. Yeah, that was great.
Oh my god, it's like Matt. Right, WWE.
I'm not your bro.
Right, Matt. I don't know if you're not aware. WWE Watch Along is in effect the same thing that a lot of other podcast groups people do. Is they sit in a room and they watch the matches alongside. You can't see the matches, but you can see their physical reactions to it. Like Gargano with the Fiend, but again we'll get to that later. Have you seen that, by the way? Gargano's reaction to the Fiend's entrance.
No, I'll have to watch that later.
I'll tell you about that. So, in this area, you've got Pat McAfee, who some people hate, some people like. Personally, I think he's quite funny. He's quite entertaining. He knows how to take the piss out of himself. And Adam Cole hates him, so that makes it even funnier because Adam Cole just rips him to shit all the time. At one point, he said, what did he say? Adam Cole said it should have been Pat McAfee on a pole match for the third stipulation. We'd have just left you in the ring and walked out. Brilliant, good old Adam Cole.
I love it. It's true, so booking.
Yeah, the Iconics are usually on there. Liv Morgan's usually on there, but Matt Riddle was sitting in there this time, just ripping Goldberg to shit for the entire time.
But no, he was doing it without, like, he was doing it sarcastically.
Sarcastic ripping. It's like when because obviously it was a squash match. Dolph Ziggler stands in the ring. Goldberg destroys him. And then Dolph Ziggler comes and goes, give me more, or whatever. He wants more, or whatever. What do you call that? And blah, 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 blah. And then Matt Riddle jokingly gets him and goes, right, I'm going to go and get him. I'm going to go and save Ziggler. And just starts taking the mickey.
It's the thing where Goldberg wins the match, and he just throws his flip-flop.
Oh, come on.
No! It was brilliant. I loved it. But yeah, pretty much a very generic squash match. Excuse me. It looked like it was going to be a quick win for Ziggler with super kick. Turns out, no. Spear, jackhammer, game over, and then
called back for more. Riddle interferes. But no,
just a flesh wound.
Yeah, tis but a flesh wound.
He's effectively that from there.
Yeah, but you know, this is Dolph's character now because he did that on Raw as well. To the Miz.
Cool.
You know, slight drop in ability there, but never mind. Next we had AJ and Ricochet. I thought it was a really good match. Probably one of my favourite on the card, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
They can both go. I mean, I don't even really need to go into details, to be honest.
Just watching how Styles can catch Ricochet midair as he's going for, I think it was like a flip move, top rope into a Styles clash, and it didn't look groggy. It didn't look messy. It's
so clean.
So yeah,
because the thing is, right, bear in mind, AJ has spent his WWE career has been spent him being the flippy one and the one who does all the sort of, because he's quite an acrobatic guy, isn't he? He does his 450, his phenomenal form and whatnot, does the acrobatical kind of stuff, but he has to be the lumbering guy to Ricochet. So Ricochet's going pew 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 all over the place, literally, according to his entrance theme, going all over the place, and AJ has to be the one who has to be the sort of slower guy to sort of bring it back down a level, and he handled it really well. I love Ricochet standing on, he basically standing on Gallows.
Oh, he stood on,
Gallows and Anderson's heads.
He just stood on their shoulders, like leaping platforms to get to AJ.
Fantastic. Lovely spot that, and fine.
Yeah, it was a very good match.
Yep, fine.
Anaconda Vice, therefore CM Punk chance.
CM Punk through the roof.
So, yeah.
Bayley versus Ember Moon in the worst built match
Snooze
ever.
fest.
What?
Snooze fest.
No, it was the worst built match ever. I feel so fucking sorry for Ember Moon. I do.
So do I, because it was a snooze fest.
No. It wasn't. It was a snooze fest. Because no one cared. Because Ember Moon, in the 4 or 5 weeks in the build up to it, has been the person. She lost every match. Every match in the build up to it, she's lost. And then Bayley saves her. And it's like, this is dumb. This is fucking stupid. And it's not needed. It's shite.
Bayley's character on main roster does not work.
Bayley's character works on the main roster fine. It's that she needs an opponent that makes sense.
And they need to do storylines that work.
Yeah.
Instead
of the booking, because
like this.
I'm absolutely fucking fine with Bayley being champion. It's perfectly fine to me. It just, as long as she has the right stories going forward, then yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that Ember Moon was the wrong person to face Bayley. She wasn't, but if it was booked right, then yeah. Ember Moon can be an uber babyface as well as Bayley because she's got the most over finishing move in the entirety of wrestling. The Eclipse is the most over move. Okay, come at me. It's the most over move in wrestling at the moment. So, you know, it's fine. You know, it could have been booked so much better, but it was shit. Simple.
Toronto crowd really hated Bayley, didn't they?
They're proper smarky cunts, aren't they? They booed everything. They booed everything. Yeah. Speaking of booing everything, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon uber booed. Kevin Owens. All that needs to be known is that A, Shane McMahon did not do a coast to coast, and B, Kevin Owens hit a stunner at the end. That's it. That's all I need to say.
We also had You Can't Wrestle chance, which was delightful.
Oh, beautiful.
Wasn't Elias in this as an enforcer?
Oh my god! So Elias came down to the ring in his ref shirt, and got in the way when
I know he tripped up Kevin Owens.
Owens did a senton off the apron, hit the ref and hit Elias. That feeds into what happened on SmackDown, and then Owens beat the living fuck out of Elias with chair shots and this, that, and the other. It gets into the ring. Basically, this I'm just talking to the end of it. Shane McMahon's on his knees in a big sweaty blubby mess because you know he's an old man, and he's Shane's going, come on, hit me with a chair, hit me, because you know if he loses, he's gone. And then you know refs go, no, don't do it, and then the crowd's telling him not to do it. He doesn't do it. He puts the chair down. It takes a lot of restraint to do that, by the way. To not hit Shane. If you've got the opportunity to hit Shane with a chair, you fucking take that shot. Jesus Christ. And then ref's back is turned. Wallop in the bollocks. Shane goes down in pain. Gets up. Stunner. 1, 2, 3. Game over. And that's fine. Massive pop because it's Kevin Owens in Canada. Simple
Love it.
as fuck.
Love it.
Now, This match surprised the living fuck out of me. I give it 3.5 stars. Charlotte Flair, Trish Stratus I'm talking about now. Trish, what? She can still go like a motherfucker. She's that was her last match, sadly. She's confirmed she's retired. But, mate, I don't remember individual spots in this match. All I remember is being solidly impressed with everything in this match. With everything from both sides being fantastic in this match.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. You need to tell me what happens with Kofi and Randy because I didn't see that. So
Kofi and Randy Orton.
I've seen the booing at the end and the bullshit chants.
Yes. So the match, obviously, Kofi's family was at ringside. Little lad, wife. Obviously, we had Randy Orton come out. We had pretty much. It was just a generic wrestling match, which didn't have a lot going on. It was very slow moving. Obviously,
Randy likes to slow the pace down to fuck Mark.
Obviously building. We had bits where Kingston took out Orton with loads of clotheslines and a boom drop, and then went, "Who's stupid? Not me." Apparently, we had the backbreaker. Obviously, Orton did his usual things on the announce tables where he picks them up into a backbreaker and just launches them. Literally, whoosh, off you go. Fly, Kofi, fly. He did that a couple of times. Cool. It was pretty much just I can't think. This is the thing. I don't really remember much about it. Obviously, they were trying to get in their RKOs and Trouble in Paradise, whatnot. He went to the top. The bit that did happen that I do remember is he went to. They were doing pin attempts, like backslides, etc. Kingston then went to go to the top rope to try and do some sort of move, and obviously RKO out of nowhere. But then he didn't pin him straight away, so Kingston rolled out the ring. Orton went outside, and it was right in front of the family. The little lad, the one who was jumping around in the ring at WrestleMania, or flamboyant of the two, he was giving off to Orton, which is brilliant.
Yes,
but yeah, he was pretty much a very slow. I didn't even realize there was a count going on because I couldn't hear it, but they both got counted out because Orton was just tormenting his family in front of him, but didn't really do anything. So it's a bit.
It's just weird. It sounds very weird. And then, as far as I remember, Kofi then just wells on the living shit out of him afterwards. With the kendo, yeah. And that's that, really.
But I think the reason why the crowd shat on it is because of the ending.
Yeah. The match itself, from what I remember, the match itself was fine. Just the end was shite.
Because it took forever for him to just do all this stuff with the family. And it was just just get him in the ring and pin him. Yeah. Just do something, and nothing really happened, and then it ended in a double count out. I don't know where we go from here. Is it going to be Randy Orton and Kofi 2?
Probably a Clash of Champions, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if, and I don't want. I kind of want to see a new champion. That's no disrespect to Kofi. I just think he's had his time now. I think we need a new.
There was a part of me that thought that, and that's the reason why I went for Randy Orton. But then I watched Kofi's 24 on the network, and seeing what the guy's been through and what being a champion from Ghana really means, and how he's basically a national hero because of his heritage and because he's the champion. He's a national hero, and I can see them keeping the title in for a while longer, and that's fine as long as he can have some decent keep going with decent matches. The match itself, from what I remember, was fine. Just his finish was a bit shit, so is what it is.
It just sets up that we're gonna have another one, I think.
Possibly, just hopefully not with a shit finisher. But it doesn't matter because the Fiend happened now, which is the best thing to happen the entire weekend. Don't at me. Best thing to happen the entire weekend. They had one shot to get this right.
And they got it completely right.
And they did it.
They got it so right.
Absolutely spot on. It was better than I imagined, because that you can throw all the NXTs at me, you can throw everything at me. This is what I wanted to see. This I wanted to see what the Fiend's entrance was going to be. I wanted to see what his music was going to be. I wanted to see how he was going to be in the ring, and
whether he wear the mask when he was wrestling.
Yes,
just all of these things. And literally, because I didn't watch it on Sunday night, and I didn't watch it until this morning, which is Thursday, which is a long time. The first thing that I did was
skip to the Fiend's entrance.
I was like, I just went straight to Twitter. I went straight to Twitter. Someone will have uploaded it. I'm sure it's there. And I watched it and I just sat there and went, that was fucking good.
See, the funny thing is WWE initially released the entire entrance, and then the entire thing on their YouTube channel. The entire thing was released on YouTube, and then they realised that obviously having a mask of Bray Wyatt's face as a lantern probably won't sit down very well with the kids, so they removed it and then put up a 50-second version of it instead. All right. We'll talk about the Fiend and all that stuff in a second. I don't like the fact that Finn got much offense in, and that the Finn was able to actually get the Fiend down briefly.
It was still a squash.
It was still a squash, but it wasn't as justifiably a squash. I don't mind Finn getting a few punches in and a few kicks, maybe a step up into Guri or something like that, or something that would have led the Fiend to go down and roll straight back up. But then obviously it led to the finish with the mandible claw, so fine. By the way, love that as a finish.
I love it.
It's okay, so we'll cut back to the entrance. So Finn comes in, everyone's like, yeah, it's cool, it's cool. I've also on YouTube, by the way, I know I'm skipping over I'm going in 3 million miles an hour right now. On YouTube right now, there is someone's in the stadium at the event on their phone recording it, the entire entrance and the entire match, and it looks even better live. It looks insane live. Right, sorry, we had to just stop recording for just a minute. So, as you were saying,
yeah. So the Fiend the Fiend's entrance didn't really come across very well at the beginning because the Let Me In was not there properly. And then I've listened to the actual Code Orange version, and that is very different to how it was played.
Yeah, I think it's tailored to certain events,
which is good, because I think the beginning bit still has the dun 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 dun, but it's very distorted.
It's very distorted, heavy bass.
I didn't like it on the track, but they didn't use it in the entrance.
Oh no! I like it. I like it from the track because obviously it's a song. Yeah, it's an actual song. WWE just bought the rights to it.
They used it in the entrance. I don't think it'd work. It wouldn't have the same emphasis, I don't think.
Well, I guess. And just a really heavy hurt and heal. It sounds like Blood and Kill, but hurt and heal. Shout out to Code Orange, man. Fucking awesome.
It's such a great version of it. But when I was watching it, I was like, I heard the hurt and heal, and I was like, this sounds heavy. This sounds like Slipknot style, what he wanted. And then they started doing the catching flies. I was like, oh, what?
I know. As soon as I heard Catching Flies, I went, oh, this is brilliant. They've just remixed his original theme. They've remixed Bray Wyatt's original theme. This is perfect. It's a twisted version of Bray Wyatt. This is fantastic. I love it. This makes total sense. Oh my God, he's got a lantern of Bray Wyatt's face. Oh my God, this is amazing. And it ties...
little details of it.
It ties in with the Firefly Funhouse, where everything is just a link to Bray Wyatt's past.
Yeah,
because you've got Mercy's Follow the Buzzards, you've got Abby the Witch, Sister Abigail, you've got Huskers, which is Husky Harris, and Rambling Rabbit, which is his rambling promos towards the end of his time as Bray Wyatt. I think that's what it is. Rambling Rabbit to me seems like a reference to his promos towards the end of, because basically Bray Wyatt's promos up until the Matt Hardy stuff was just promo after promo after promo after promo, lose. Promo, lose at pay-per-view. Promo, lose at pay-per-view. And that's just a repeat of that over and over again. Yeah. So I think that might be what it's in reference to.
There's a bit where they zoom in on the lantern when it's on the apron.
Yeah.
And it's actually got stitches over his eyes.
The eyes are stitched, and the handle is his hair with dreadlocks.
I was just like, that is creepy as shit.
It is, and it just even like when he's outside of him, he stands there and he puts the hands to his head and just sort of just morphs and goes right and just storms up, and then in time with the music where he starts going back into the hard hill, he's just sort of like right up against the hard cam, leaning up against the
lights.
Oh my god, you can tell
those lights. Well, I know I said that's going to get boring.
It'll never get boring. And you know what? Another bit that I love is that the theme just goes like that in the middle. In the middle of it, it just stops.
Yeah,
it was
you can't stop it. You don't have to
fade
because
it out.
The way that he does. Yeah, normally he has to wait until he blows the thing out, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, it just cuts.
Just cut. Yeah.
And it cuts to an echo silence. You hear a slight reverb as it reverberates around the building, and then just dead stop. And like the end, he's got a fucking outro. He's got an outro.
The outro. Oh.
No one gets an outro. Mankind wouldn't get an outro. He asked. I remember hearing about this. Mick Foley begged for an outro. He didn't get one. Bray Wyatt's got an outro.
Because it works.
And because every single detail of this character has been created directly by Bray Wyatt. Every single nuance, every single millisecond of that entrance is timed to perfection. Every single millisecond of the outro, every single millisecond of the match itself is timed to absolute perfection. Yeah. It's like he doesn't Irish whip them, he fucking flings them by the back of his head. Because really, he doesn't do a standard Irish whip to Finn Balor, he launches him by the back of his head.
There's a bit as well where he
fucking headbutts him.
Yeah, he got into the corner as well, and he did the thing where he goes upside down.
Yeah.
Which looks creepy, but then I was like, oh, he's going to do the thing where he's on all fours, isn't he?
No,
and
he's not.
Ruin it. Oh, he didn't. And I was like, good, I like it. But yeah, there was a bit where it just showed Finn's pure, after the entrance, you went to Finn, and Finn's face, and I saw a tweet, which was the best thing ever. He says, I should have worn the brown pants.
Yes, very good. I like that, and even you can tell the Finn's choice of wearing white as well. It's the symbol of evil and light and good versus bad, light versus dark. If I remember correctly, it's either Finn Balor's first entrance or Bray Wyatt's first entrance on Raw. That camera shot of Finn Balor looking perplexed and scared right in the entrance is replicated exactly. It's either Finn Balor's first entrance when whoever he's facing has that sort of perplexed, scared look, or it's whoever Bray Wyatt's facing. I can't remember what it was. I saw it on Reddit. I was like, it's everything about it is a callback, and it's perfect. And they had, as I said, they had one shot to do this, and they did it absolutely spot on. I was terrified they were going to fuck this up. Because we were saying it for months.
The crowd's anticipation as well was so.
My god!
You could feel, because before he came out, they were obviously chanting "Yowie Wowie," and I was just like, they are so excited for this that if it goes wrong, they will shit on it.
Oh, they will shit on it.
They will take a massive dump on this if it goes really badly. But it didn't, because at the end they were going, "That was awesome."
It was like you think about it, it's a massive gamble, because how do you live up to the? Because bear in mind the Firefly Funhouse has been going since like April. You know, how do you build a character for 4 months off screen, and then all of a sudden you bring him in, and it has to be
how it's going to work, isn't it? I think his promo work that's going to be on screen is going to be him in the house.
I think it is,
and then anything else is going to be Fiend. When you see him, he's going to be the Fiend.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, that outro, he goes black, and you hear him get out of the ring because you can hear him drop down and roll out. And then he gets to the, you could just hear the laughs, and it's just like, that is creepy in itself. Yeah. But then he gets to the top of the ramp, and it's just like, I don't know if it says "let me in," I can't really remember, and it's just him turning back, and you just go, if you see that if the Undertaker did that, you'd get freaked out.
Yeah.
If Kane did something like that with his mask, you get freaked out.
Old Kane, yeah.
If it was okay. If it's anybody else, just without any face paint or any mask, it looks shit. But with the Fiend's mask, it looks absolutely terrifying.
And the thing with it, right, is
it gave
WWE have been crying out for a gimmick wrestler Velveteen Dream is the only gimmick wrestler they've got at the moment. He's the only one they have, and he's he's on a different brand.
A monster type gimmick.
Yes,
this works because I think we now know everything about the Undertaker and how it happened, like how everything happens. Because I'm at the age now where, lightning's in the stadium. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's terrifying. Now I'm like, it's just special effects, like
a little bit of pyro.
Yeah. Whereas now with the Fiend stuff, it's everything turns to black and you don't know what he's going to do.
I like that.
And it's the lights which makes it horrifying. And I've said to you many weeks before, he needs to stand in the crowd. They need to have like 4 or 5 people wearing the same mask stood in the crowd, and you don't know which one it is.
That sounds like a great idea.
And you just get it like pops up in one corner of the stadium, and it's got the lights flash. Someone's behind him flashing the lights. It goes black again. He goes somewhere else. He does it exactly the same. It goes black again. And then you just get, it could be anywhere.
It honestly, the thing with this now is the possibilities now are completely endless.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the debut. The great thing is he wasn't on Raw and SmackDown.
I've read that they're going to keep him,
and they're keeping him fresh.
They're going to keep him away from TV.
Well, it's very simple. Do you want to know why? Because you have to watch every week to find out whether he's going to be on TV or not. Because right now he's the hottest thing in wrestling. Full stop.
He is.
Right now. Period.
I literally went to the WWE shop this morning because I was like, oh my God, I hope there's Fiend merch. There's a mask.
Yep.
There's the Hurt Heel gloves. You can buy each individual puppet.
Oh, not just that. No, there was a Firefly Funhouse box.
I don't know if that's still there, but there was definitely.
Please tell me you saw the release video. The Bray Wyatt doing the advertising for that.
No.
It's so good. I will show you it in a minute. Stickers. No, I'll show you in a minute.
But yeah, like
it's really good.
But then he's also got 2 T-shirts, which one that says Yowie Wowie, which I obviously would like.
Obviously,
I want one which is more like I want to see more of his mask on a T-shirt with Yowie Wowie underneath.
I think you might see that,
and I will buy that.
I saw a Hurt and Heel on either side, but it's just very, 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 very clever, and it was all I cared about for the entirety of SummerSlam. It's all I cared about.
Completely agree. I was like, I'm done now. I don't really want to watch the rest.
Yeah.
But I have to. But you can understand why they put it on so late.
Yes. Because it would have scared the shit out of little children.
Because didn't you say that they listed this as TV-14 earlier in the week?
It wasn't TV-14, no. It was PG. They lied. It honestly, if my 8-year-old saw that, she would have shat herself. Genuinely. Or obviously not she shat herself, but she'd have been scared.
Yeah.
You know, I can get the feeling why they put that on so late in the show.
Gave me goosebumps throughout.
Well, yeah, because
I've never watched a wrestling segment like that for a long time, which gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And just pure.
I loved it.
I've just seen the time. Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Go on.
Lesnar's a transitional champion, ladies and gentlemen.
That hurt my head. Lesnar's transitional champion. Okay. It was a fun match.
Isn't he? He is. He's been champion for what?
Yeah. You need to talk about this one because I don't know what to say. So
I genuinely thought, here we go. It's going to be Brock Lesnar's going to destroy him. Game over. And it wasn't. It started that way.
Okay.
A little bit. But with Seth. Because Seth stomped him very quickly, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to squash Brock Lesnar. What the actual hell?
That's hilarious.
But he didn't. Lots of German suplexes, obviously. F5. Suplex City. Tossing him around, doing a spin move while holding his back, strapping. He literally picked him up.
Yes.
And wheeled him around. I was like, that was good. I like that. But yeah, it was just a bit. As the match kept going on, I thought, Rollins is winning this, isn't he? And I could imagine people watching it live will go, yeah, he's going to win here.
The longer it goes on, the more Bray starts taunting. You know it's all going to turn to shit for Bray. Not Bray. Brock.
Yeah, Bray on the mind. But yeah, it was. I don't know. There was no low blows. There was none of that. It was literally he won clean. He did many stomps. He did many frog splashes. And I was quite surprised.
I was surprised as well. But ultimately, I can see why they did it. But
you can tell they were going to work on his ribs, which they did quite a lot. There was a flying frog splash from the top of the turnbuckle to the outside on an announce table, which was cool. But then,
I mean, going past this now, because we do need to start wrapping up soon. Where next for Seth? Where does he go next with this? Who does he face next?
Thing is, this is quite interesting. Rollins winning clean is something which Lesnar has done quite a few. He does not simply do jobs uncontested. He put John Cena over clean at Extreme Rules in 2012.
Yeah.
He lost a convoluted street fight to Triple H at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And he put Roman Reigns over last year.
Yeah. So that's four clean losses in 7 years.
He doesn't put people over clean that often.
Very rarely.
That makes this seem like a big deal. I don't think we'll see it for a while, to be quite honest.
Nah, don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. I don't think we'll see Brock again till October, to be honest. And that's fine. That's how it is, and so be it.
So for me. Raw and SmackDown I watch. So this is going to be interesting. So Seth Rollins addressed the universe to start off with, I believe.
Yeah, basically, we did it. That's it in a nutshell. So yeah, we did it. It was thanks to you guys. We did it. AJ comes out with the OC. Ned challenge him to a match later on in the night.
So it was a champion versus champion match.
Champion versus champion match, which closed out Raw. This fight was a very good match as well, to be honest.
Samoa Joe versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's so funny. The backstage segment to this was Montez and that was Street Profits in the back. And Sami Zayn's like, oh, why are you pandering to the audience? I mean, look at Samoa Joe. Look at what he's become now. He was this mean killer. And now he's just, oh, I'm sorry, Roman. Oh, I'm sorry. Joe standing behind him and goes, hey! Sami Zayn proceeds to shit his pants.
Obviously.
And then Joe pushes him and goes, yeah, why don't you fight me in the ring now? Sami Zayn goes down to the ring. They go down to the ring. Sami Zayn tries to hit him. Joe locks in a cookie in a clutch. Death. Game over. Squash.
Is this, in some ways, a Samoa Joe face turn?
No, it's not. That was addressed on SmackDown. It was not a face turn.
Because when it was the oh, sorry, Roman kind of thing, Roman, you okay? That seemed like a face turn a little bit.
Yeah, it did. And then I think they reeled that back in on SmackDown where Joe basically went, what did Joe say? It's like, I won't forgive any of you for doubting me. Won't forgive any of the fans, any of the wrestlers. You all owe me and things like that. Basically just the arrogant Samoa Joe that we're used to.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I think that would ruin him a little bit.
Yeah,
Miz and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Was it shit?
No, it wasn't terrible. It's just this Dolph sort of give me more sort of stuff's really irritating to me. So, Miz and Ziggler are having a perfectly fine. Oh, no. Ziggler goes, because I got fucked by Goldberg, there's no way I'm going to compete in this match. Miz is like, all right, and whatever, turns around, and then Ziggler attacks him. They have a match. Ziggler gets put in the figure 4, taps out. Then Ziggler, the match happens, and the wins by the tap out. Ziggler Miz walks up the ramp. Ziggler goes on the mic and basically starts mouthing off like he did to Goldberg, except he doesn't turn around this time, and Miz just hits skull crushing finale on Ziggler while he's facing the other way. Boys basically walks down to the ring while so if he's walking down to the ring, Ziggler's facing the announce table while he's talking.
Yeah,
Ziggler doesn't know Miz is standing behind him. Miz just hits skull crushing finale. You hear him go before he goes as well. It's quite funny, but yeah, that's it. The end.
Sorry, I've just seen the DMs. I'll read it later. Yeah, because I saw the thing here. He says apparently the Miz before he got another skull-crushing, or before he got a skull-crushing finale, apparently Maurice was the best wrestler in the Mizanin family.
Yes. That was just basically just Ziggler's just a troll now.
Ricochet versus Elias.
Oh God. Elias came out and started, hello, welcome to Walk with Elias and things like that. Starts playing guitar and he says, "No, this is not going to be one. I'm going to be interrupted."
Because he got speared by Edge, didn't he?
He got speared by the Egg, of course. Egg happened.
Oh my!
Egg happened on SummerSlam.
That's because it was on the pre-show, so I didn't see it.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Good old Egg, not listening to doctor's orders.
He'll be back in the ring.
He looked mightily relieved after he hit that spear. Mightily relieved. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ricochet comes out and goes and basically just starts shit talking Elias. They have a match. Simple. It's just a standard match. Nothing.
Ricochet won.
Nothing of any sort of majorness happens.
The analysis from Bleacher Report is: what do we have for Ricochet? Nothing. What do we have for Elias? Nothing.
Match.
Put them together, have the babyface say suck, and book an impromptu match.
Yeah, basically.
Rey Mysterio versus Andrade again. But
2 out of 3 falls. And Andrade wins. And Andrade wins both of them.
Oh, he wins the first 2, does he?
He wins first 2, yeah.
That's amazing.
Zelina Vega interfered for the first one. The second one, I can't remember what happened, but yeah, it was a very good match because it's Rey Mysterio and Andrade. It cuts to a backstage bit afterwards where Rey Mysterio is walking around the back and Charlie Caruso in true shithousery that she does. Basically, so what next for Rey Mysterio? And Rey's like, "I don't know, man, but I've just got to put food on my table for my kids, man, for my kids." Even though Dominic's like 22. But whatever, right?
Himself. We watched this.
Yeah, he's pretty much signed, I think, as far as I know. Yeah,
Cedric Alexander, Drew McIntyre.
Good match. Very, very good match. Cedric, man, you just forget how good this guy is. You just forget how good he is. So it's just I can't go into much detail.
Spanish Fly on TV. What? Apparently, this match had a top rope Spanish Fly.
Top rope Spanish Fly. Yep, correct.
5 stars.
It's a 5-star TV match, of course.
Oh, what is this?
Very good back and forth. I remember it was a devastating Claymore to win it. Oh my God!
I love this Claymore.
It turned Cedric inside out. But it was again, Cedric had a lot of the offense in this one. Drew was on the ropes quite a lot in this. Stop! What are you laughing at now?
Just read the next segment. No Way Jose versus Robert Roode in a they still work here match. That's Bleacher Report. That is Bleacher Report. And then they gave the match an F. I think that's what we say on that. Let's move on. It
literally. As far as I remember, the match started, and whilst the match was going on, it cut to a backstage bit where Paul Heyman was going into came out of the Brock Lesnar's locker room to talk to Charlie, and then there was just silence, and then it went back to the match. What's the fucking point of that? Match was shit. It hit his glorious DDT. The end.
Lucha House Party versus Revival.
That happened. Revival won, didn't they?
24/7 championship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 24/7 match happened in the middle of it.
And I was like, what?
The Revival won the 24/7 title.
Did they keep
the Revival? No.
Okay.
We're on to a backstage segment, and then Elias won it after hitting R-Truth with a chair. Oh, no, with a guitar, I think.
So, hang on. So, the Revival won in a match.
No, the Revival didn't win the match, as far as I know. During the match, you see R-Truth and Carmella run to the ring while people are chasing them. And then all of a sudden it just turns into a big pile-on 24/7 match like it happens in the ring. The Revival, one of the Revival pin R-Truth win the title. And then some other point, then R-Truth wins the title back off one of the Revival. R-Truth runs around the back and you see Drake trying to chase after him at the back of the queue. He doesn't get anywhere near it. And then it goes to backstage, but R-Truth's around the back. Elias just comes from out the shadows with a guitar, whacks him, wins the title. And I think that's the end of it. I don't think there's anything else happens to 24/7. I think Elias is 24/7 champion. I can't remember.
He is. Although, I completely forgot to mention this. When they did the announcers on SummerSlam, the international row of They had R-Truth and Carmella just sat there going, "Hi, my name is."
That was good. That was quite good.
It's quite clever. I liked it. The biggest news from Raw, which I did see, was new hair. Who dis?
Right.
New hair. Who dis?
Who got new hair?
New hair. Who dis? Sasha Banks.
Oh, fuck. Yes, of course. Sorry. Yeah, so it took me a minute to remember the reference. So, of course, Natty's out in the ring doing her sort of sob story. This is what my dad said to me, and my dad died. And as soon as she says, my dad passed away a year ago today, you hear the Sasha Banks theme. I'm not going to sing it. I've done it once. I'm never doing it again. I watched that back reasonably recently, and it's really bad. I can still remember some of the rap.
That's terrible.
But it's a really bad song. But yeah, Sasha comes out and just goes up to Natty and hugs her. He puts her hand around her throat for some reason while she's hugging her, which is weird. And then she goes, I'll go get a mic. And she just wails on her and absolutely fucks her up. Bear in mind that Natty's selling a dislocated elbow, by the way. So she's got her arm in a sling. She doesn't have one, but she's selling a dislocated elbow. So she's got her arm in a sling, and Sasha's just fucking her the entire time.
I'll turn up in a purple wig, but then take it off to reveal blue hair.
Yeah, that was. Oh yeah, just after she wailed, she sort of took off the purple wig and revealed the blue hair. Took her coat off as you do, and then she continued to fuck her up for a few minutes. Then Becky came out, and they had a little bit of a fight, and then Sasha just overpowered her, and then basically beat her to shit with a chair, including a back of the head chair shot as well, which was unintentional. But there's cam footage of it, and you can. It's fucking hard how hard she's hitting her. Jesus, but she wails on her massively. But I do like right at the end, before she ends up going around the back, she's sort of really close up to her face and says something. I can't remember exactly what she says. Basically says something about keep your mouth shut or whatever it was, because Becky's been running her mouth on Twitter as she always does. And Sasha slaps or hits Becky. Becky laying on the floor, still trying to kick out at her, so she's still trying to get a couple of shots in. But then Becky just hits her again. Then Sasha just hits her again and then walks off. It was a very good segment. Welcome back, Sasha Banks. Heel Sasha Banks. Sasha is ratchet. Can't wait to see more of it.
Cool. War Raiders squash some.
Yeah,
people.
don't care.
I think we're getting a bit bored of that. Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, women's tag team title matches. We haven't had tag team title match defenses for at least 2 months. Then we have 3 in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're like buses, isn't it? No, it's honestly, as much as I love the Iconics, it's because Bliss and Cross are over. And the Iconics are over with the Marks, because quite frankly, they're quite smarky, I think. Yes. And Bliss and Cross are not smarky. So, personally, that's the reason why I think that there's... And, of course, with all due respect, Alexa Bliss has to be on TV all the time because it's Alexa Bliss. So, yeah, makes sense. For more defences...
Holding a title is money.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, they won reasonably. It was quite a tight match, but yeah, simple. Excuse me, Nikki Cross hit her swinging net breaker, twisted Bliss off the top, 1, 2, 3. Simple.
Cool. Champion versus champion, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. There's a big picture of Braun Strowman on this, so I assume he interferes at some point.
That is correct. It's a good one-on-one. Then the OC get involved, and then Braun goes no! And runs down to the ring and just fucks everything. Because that's Braun Strowman. I did love that AJ I think tried to do the phenomenal forearm, and literally Braun just caught him out of midair, swung him round, did his power slam. It looked fucking awesome. But yeah, it was a fine match. Nothing major.
We're going to get Strowman versus Rollins potentially, or not?
No, you're not going to get Strowman versus Rollins. You're going to get Strowman's very much a face now. He came in to save Seth.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, he didn't attack Rollins. He came in to save Seth. So you know.
Then we move on to SmackDown Live before we finish.
Okay, so SmackDown Live, how did that start?
Apparently, Shane McMahon finds Kevin Owens.
Oh, this is good. I love
that. For his attack on Elias.
Yes, so yes. Kevin Owens is out in the ring. So it starts with Kevin Owens. Everyone's fucking crowd are loving it.
Isn't he?
What?
He goes on to talk about King of the Ring.
Yeah, he goes to announce that he's in for King of the Ring, and all of a sudden you hear, here comes money, and Kevin Owens just puts his head in his hands, like, oh, God's sake, I thought I got rid of you. Oh no, he didn't say that, but to sort of paraphrase it, it's just sort of head in his hands as if to say, "Oh my God, I thought I got rid of you. Why are you here?" And he comes out, and the Shane Man starts talking, and he just goes, "Why? Why are you here? Why?" Which I really like that. Why are you here, Shane? And then Shane proceeds to explain that he beat Elias to fuck, and therefore he's going to be fined $100,000. Kevin Owens expresses his displeasure at that because he proclaims, well, that's a down payment for a house. That's ridiculous. You're unbelievable. And then Shane walks off and goes, you have to, Kevin goes, well, you clearly have to understand that's ridiculous. And I can't do that. And Shane goes, nope, and just turns around and literally goes, no, and just turns around and walks off. Kevin Owens goes out the back, tries to find him, does. And Shane's like, well, I've got to set an example. You can't do this, that, blah, blah, blah. Kevin then throws a chair at the TV and walks off. Right. And then he's set up for a match with Samoa Joe later in the night.
Splendid. Ember Moon and Charlotte Flair.
Fine match. Charlotte worked on one of Ember's legs. Ember was able to get in some good offense for the match, but it was basically Charlotte's match. Charlotte won with a figure eight, simple. Good match, but yeah, whatever.
Roman Reigns and Buddy Murphy, I've heard.
Holy shit.
I've heard on Twitter it's match of the year. I haven't seen it. I've just heard it's match of the year.
It's up there with one of the best for the year so far on free TV. It's it's cable, so it's not cable. But it's certainly one of the best TV matches I've seen for a while. I do need to talk about this because a lot of this is on Roman. Now, bear in mind that Buddy Murphy is just some guy from 205 who's now on the main roster. He's not had any. The only TV time he's basically had since going from 205 to SmackDown is last week on SmackDown, where
and he's being mentioned by KO.
Yeah, that's literally it. But what we had now is we had a match where Buddy was hitting him with his fucking devastating kicks and some solid moves and a couple of near falls, a couple of false finishes where Buddy could well have won it. Oh god, what was it? One of them is where Roman's coming at him and he just hits him with his devastating like scissor kick or bicycle kick. Roman goes flat out, but Buddy pins 1, 2, so close to a third, so close to winning. Some really good sequences throughout the match. It was a fantastic match. Buddy kicked out of a Superman punch. Bear in mind, he's a 205 guy. He's an ex-205 guy who has got nothing on TV. He's not in any story. He's not in any sort of main event picture. He is someone who kicked out a Superman punch. That never happens.
I can't really convey this for the audience, but my face just said it all.
Yeah. His eyes widened. It was a brilliant match, and what it does, this is very, very simple. It turns Buddy Murphy from a nobody into someone because he took Roman Reigns to his limit, and that is how you build stars.
Exactly.
That's it's such a simple concept, but it's true. It's how you build people.
It also seems that this is still going around the Rowan and Bryan.
It is, yeah.
Backstage, they assaulted Murphy in the locker room. Yeah. They admit that he lied. Reigns then confronted them backstage, and then the Planet's champion is promised to bring the big dog his attacker next week.
Yeah. Basically, after the match, Buddy's sort of sitting in the locker room, and very similar to last week where Roman kicks everyone out of the locker room, Rowan and Bryan come in and kick everyone out of the locker room, and so you got Buddy sitting in his chair, Rowan sitting straight opposite him, Daniel Bryan's like right in his left ear, his eyes there's like inches from his eye, from each other's faces, and you have to tell everyone that you lied, you made it all up, you lied, you're ruining our reputation, and then just screaming in his face, you lied, and Roman just fucking destroys him. Not Roman destroys him. And then then later on, Roman Reigns is looking for their locker room, or looking for Rowan and Bryan, finds them, and then Rowan and Bryan proclaimed that they have been doing they've conducted their own investigation, and next week they'll have some information.
Police 2.0.
Fucking brilliant, yeah. I know it'd be so funny if Breezango get involved in it and to go, we're trying to find clues.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
What about Joe and Owens?
Yeah, good match. I can't remember who won it.
Apparently, Elias came out to work as special guest enforcer again.
Oh, and Joe won. Yeah, so basically, Elias came out special enforcer. I think the ref got downed at some point, but I remember it was like a 1, 2, 3. It was like a really quick sort of. Joe got Kevin Owens on his back for something. It would have been a simple 2 and a bit count, and then quick 1, 2, 3 within a second of a normal pin count, and that was it. The end of the match. So, oh fuck. Good old Elias.
The finish looked like New Day versus the Revival and Randy Orton.
Oh yeah, that happened. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything of the match. Oh no. I remember Randy Orton going savage with RKO's on all of the New Day. Just all of them getting RKO'd. Ludicrously RKO'd. Bless.
It looked like Revival and Orton won the match.
Must have done then.
Because it says here, Randy Orton, as the action ramped up, Kofi escaped an RKO, knocked the Viper out of the ring. Revival took advantage of arm injury. Woods had suffered and won with a shatter machine. Afterwards, the WWE champion fought an attack on Woods and Big E by Dawson and Wilder, but took an RKO for his trouble. Apex Predator gave one to E and Woods as well, and then a second to Kofi. It's going to happen again. It's just going to be Clash of Champions, Kofi, Randy. Randy's going to take the title, probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
I haven't seen NXT, but I assume because it was a takeover week, we've got takeover undercard matches. Just looking at it, yes, we did.
No, I'm not going into it.
I'm just going to talk about it just quickly. NXT was Breezango versus the Forgotten Sons, which was won by Breezango. And then the final of the breakout tournament, Jordan Miles versus Cameron Grimes, which was won by Miles. Done. That was very long. I do apologise, but lots of wrestling this week.
Lots of wrestling happened, yes.
Weekend, just having NXT Takeover and then SummerSlam, and then on the Monday you've got the G1 Climax final before you even get into Raw and SmackDown and NXT. That's craziness.
Wait,
but
31st, it's going to be insane. You've got 3 wrestling events today
to catch up on. Luckily, one of them I'm going to live, so I won't have to watch that one.
Fuck you.
The card for that is unreal, by the way. Kent is going to be there.
I'm gonna make Jack put you through a fucking table.
Fine.
Right.
Because if I get to do that and then Will Ospreay can come and kiss me with the kiss of life, then we'll be all happy. But yeah, thank you very much again for sticking with us this week for a long podcast. Thank you for listening. Once again, thank you for all of you who have been part of those 3,000 listens. It's much appreciated.
I mean, I'm 2,992 of them. Sorry.
Cheers. Make sure you go and check out our website, www.badbookers.com. Make sure you go and check out our Twitter at badbookerswp, our YouTube channel as well, where you can find snippets from the podcast and an upcoming Royal Quest vlog. That's Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. Once again, thank you very much for listening. See you later, folks.
Bye. Bye.